Welcome back to Divekick Infinite. It's again a Tuesday night. I am your host, Thanos PKC, and today we're going to do a discussion on Fencer. And we've already kind of discussed the Fencer, except it was kind of one of the earliest ones I did, and that episode was pretty much just me playing some games and then kind of throwing out my thoughts. The next character we did after that was Dr. Shoals, which Capconian did a guest spoke on, and since I was having him guest speak, we decided to have like a little bit more of a format where we talk about certain things, and we've kind of gone with that format since. And that format's been doing well, and I want to apply it to the Fencer, and that's why I'm kind of redoing the Fencer discussion. So it has a little bit more structure. You learn more about the character in the same format that we've learned about the other characters. I want to thank Stir Fry Ty, who was part of that first session where he played games with. I think today we'll have Axem and Lai again jump in for matches, but let's go ahead and talk about Fencer and start with his normals. I think I'm going to pick Dive here as the counter or the second player, just so we can do some comparisons.
I always win. Select your gems.
And we'll start off with the kick gem.
Your duds.
I usually like to get a blue color, but let's go with the original color for right now. Hoping we get a decent stage, hopefully not downfall. Okay, JEO main stage, I like.
From above. Round one.
Alright, so Fencer's normal jump looks like this. It's actually a little bit faster than Dive, but as you can tell, the height is about the same. And he tends to drop a little bit faster because he has a, I think a slightly heavier gravity, I believe. And it's only slightly higher, but that will cause him to land faster than Dive normally. So he has a little bit more velocity, which gets him about that same height faster, but you'll notice that he starts to drop faster. Alright, let's show the kickback. That's him picking up a sword. We'll go over that in a sec, but the kickback goes pretty far. Let's get a little closer. Yeah, it goes pretty far and it goes pretty high as well.
Judgment. Perfecto.
We're going to do a comparison with Dive's kickback. You notice that Dive's a lot lower. They land about the same time, but Fencer gets a little bit higher during his arc. I believe that Fencer probably goes back a little bit farther. Yeah, just a little bit farther as well. So goes back pretty far. And his kick is, it kind of looks 45 degrees, but it's actually 48 degrees. But just know that it's a little bit steeper than Dive's. Very slightly so. Okay, one of the things I do want to mention that it's kind of a hidden value of the game, but you kind of get a feel for it when you're trying to move character, is his minimum kick height. So I pressed DK really quick there, so let's see if the kick comes out. Oops. So I pressed D, then K on both characters. Tried to do it as fast as I could. But you notice that Fencer is like all the way up here, and Dive is all the way down here. And so when we're talking about minimum kick height, we talked about this in previous discussions, but let's just kind of delve into it here a little bit more. This is on the up on ascending. So on your way up from a jump, there's a minimum height you have to reach before you can actually kick. And for certain characters, this can vary. And I want to say that N and Kick and I think S-Kill have like somewhat low ones. I think N is 100 and Kick is like 150. And at the high end, you have Shoals at 400, and you also have Fencer at 400. And while this doesn't seem like too much of a difference. When you're moving the character around, you can feel how I call it chunky, but you're moving very blocky steps. And let me kind of get back into the game and I can show you what that looks like. But there is a minimum height that you need to jump before you can actually kick. And I believe that when you're playing Fencer, they're actually buffering in the inputs. So even if you press K before you hit that threshold, it will remember when you hit that threshold and then it'll kick. So even though you press K really fast, you'll still end up traveling the whole distance before you actually kick. Let's go ahead and show that. Oops. All right, so here's a Dive doing relatively quick DKs. And I'm going to show you the opposite way with, I'm going to go do it with Fencer using the same speed that I tried with Dive. Notice that I've kind of got within him fairly quickly, and the amount of travel time is a lot different. So that's on Ascension, and it affects both the neutral and the kickback. So that's how it looks like with the minimum kick on kickback. Note that there is a min height on for the kick. Oops, on descend as well, and that will be a different value. Let's see if I can show you what dives looks like. Basically, you could pretty much press it fairly low. And I'll show you with Fencer, when I try to do it really low, there's sometimes it just won't show the input. So that's about as low as I can do it, I think. So you're gonna have to get used to this feel of when you can actually kick on the way down from your kick, from your jump, I mean. And this applies to both the jump up and the kickback. As you can see with Dive, I can press it really low. Yeah, so it is something to be very aware about, because when you play the Fencer and you try to move around, even if you press the buttons, you'll commit to that very long, chunky movement. Whereas Dive, you can tell he moves and gets back to the ground a lot quicker. Another thing is the kickbox. Oops. On Fencer is fairly small. I think he has the worst kickbox in the game. If Redacted's number 1, I'm going to put Fencer at 0. Or sorry, at the last position, because let's see if I can find where we are here. I believe his kickbox is kind of just that last 2 pixels, or it's a small box on these ones. So let's just say it's like this. It's about that big. And that wouldn't be a problem, except for his hurt box pretty much just overlaps the whole thing. So you have to get, if you ever get into a kickbox on kickbox interaction, usually their hurt box is about like right here, and so you end up losing losing a lot of what looks like ties, and so when you're trying to get a kick, you want to make sure to be pretty precise on your kicks. Don't aim for the feet, because you most likely will tie or die. And that is something to be wary about. All right. I think it's time to go into specials now. And this is kind of where we're going to start talking about Fencer's power. We're going to talk about Sword after his tumbles. Basically, his air special and his ground special are both like, they're called tumble. I sometimes refer to them as rolls. But we're going to pick up the sword and throw it across the screen. That is his sword special, but we'll go over that more detail later. All right, so let's go over the ground special. It's this roll that actually changes his hitbox and makes it lower, except his head is still hittable, so be wary that you can still get headshot in this formation. but you can do things like duck attacks from above because it does lower your hitbox. This is kind of finicky where most of the time you can do a car cancel or a plank. If you do it, try to do it fencer, you actually won't be able to do it. So you actually have to hit Dika's play pretty much on the same, within a very close frame distance to actually get the special to appear. If you end up planking it and hitting K first then D, sometimes it's a little bit hard to get it to happen. The timings are very, very tight, so whereas with Dive here, I'll kind of show you the same issue I have with him, where if sometimes I press DK too fast, I'll end up doing my special. I don't think that happens with the fencer as much. There you go. So with fencer, there you go, I got one to go. But you want to be careful with when you're pressing it, just to make sure you're getting as close as possible to be about the same time. Alright. The one thing to note about roll is you can cancel your landing frames, and this will cause you not to auto-face if you do land. So kick and then into roll. Oh, let me toss that. So notice there, I'm rolling in the wrong direction. Oh, this one might not be a good example. Let's kill me so I can stop Kickfactor. But if you do end up canceling your landing frames, you won't face the other way. So that way, I didn't cancel my landing frames. I actually landed first and then rolled. I actually rolled and canceled my landing frames. There's also a situation where if you roll to the other side and you hit jump or kickback at the right moment, he'll be stuck facing the original direction you rolled in. This isn't super consistent though. That's facing the right way. Let me see if I can get it to happen. Usually I only get it to happen when I'm playing normally and it sucks. There he is. So as you can tell, I rolled past, but fencer is actually facing this way, and if I release, I'll actually kick. And for some reason, the timing on that seems to be worse when I'm actually just trying to play the game. And I'll end up kicking in the wrong direction. So just know that can happen if you're implementing roll a lot. You can end up facing the wrong way after you roll past them. But as you can see, it's fairly hard to force to happen. Yeah, I don't know if I can get it to happening, and we'll see. I believe that it does happen with both. Oh, this way I'm always facing this way. Just kick. Hey Bloodlure, I saw that you put a little emote there. I think you were doing that when I referred to the Kickbox. Thanks for participating. Yeah, Fencer's Kickbox is fairly small. Let me try to do it with a kickback. Oh, doesn't look like I can get it to happen that well. But just know that when you do jump out of a roll, you can get stuck facing a way that you might not have intended. Also to note that if you do cancel your kick into a roll, you will not pick up sword. Because I believe you have to finish your landing to pick up sword. So I'm going to land on top of sword here, which is in the middle of the screen, and try to cancel into roll. So notice that I didn't actually pick up sword. Now I pick up sword. So there I was able to land and pick up sword. Let me try to land and not pick it up. Oop, not miss. Of course I messed up my spacing there. Okay, I'm not hitting my roll right now.
Hurry up! Round 4, Divekick!
Okay, let's try this again. There you go.
Hurry up!
So there I was able to cancel my... I don't know if I'm actually canceling because I'm facing the wrong way, so if I actually auto-face, that means I didn't actually cancel my landing frames. I know that's a little bit... That's a very small window, but just be careful that when you do hit your roll, if you hit it at the right time, you'll actually cancel your landing and you won't be eligible to pick up your sword. It is good to note that I am rolling here and not spending any meter. You'll also notice down here that ground special doesn't cost anything. Normally you'll have like these lines to tell you, to tell you how much air special, ground special cost, and they're free for Henser. I mean, they're not considered normals because you can't do them when you're concussed, but they cost 0 meter. So basically, there's no way to actually spend your meter, except for Kickfactor. Once you get Kickfactor, the meter tends to drain, and eventually you'll have no more meter.
Round 7, Divekick!
I believe that when you do ground roll, you are locked into that animation, so you can't like jump out of it in the middle of roll. So you have to wait for the whole animation to finish before you could actually act again. Let me see if there's anything else about ground roll that you want to mention. I think we showed this in the Markman discussion, but there was a if you roll into glue, you'll actually be stuck rolling like continuously, or you'll get stuck every frame of your roll. So yeah, don't roll into glue. That's only against Markman, but that can be a problem. All right, so let's talk about air roll. It's a little bit forward motion. You can do this from a kickback or a jump.
Round 2, Divekick!
There is a minimum jump height to be able to do it, so you can't just do it like straight from a jump. You have to like get to a certain height and jump. I think it's a little bit higher than the kick height.
Divide by 0! Round 4, Divekick!
Just like ground roll, you can still get hit in the head. So I don't know. I can never tell where his head is because he's so pixelated. But let's just say that your head box is about the same size, so it's actually about 25% of your body, and it tends to get hit a lot if you end up getting hit out of roll. So just know that your head is not safe when you're rolling, and it's still you can still get concussed when you're in this state. It is of note that you cannot cancel a kick into roll, so I can't just kick and then roll. But I can do it from a
Hurry up!
from a kickback, and you can also car cancel or blink it. So that was me hitting K then D first. I'll show it again. So you see like a little kick, and that's only because of the mechanic where you're allowed to like get some space between your inputs for hitting both at the same time. You also can't kick out of the roll, so there's no way I'm actually kicking out of this. It will not auto-face, I believe, so if you pass them and you're facing the wrong way, when you roll, you'll still face the original direction you were in. So let's see if I can time this out. Yep, there you go. Oops. Yep, So you'll eventually like. There's no way to turn around in midair for Fencer.
Round 7 die kick.
Air dodge is good because you can as Dive has shown, when you have an option to not have your landing punish, this is basically if they attack you, you can kind of roll over their attack. So, oops. Let me see if I can actually show that.
Round 8 die kick.
Okay, so it's you jump, they jump, and then they kick. Okay, you jump, you jump, they jump, they kick. That's punishing your landing. And let's see if I can actually get the roll in here.
Round 9 die kick.
Okay, you jump, they kick. There it is. So I did it fairly low. I was able to stop my landing and change it into a roll. Yeah, looks like you do it fairly low, but not super low. So I would say that Fencer specials are mainly evasion specials. You're not really using to attack because they don't have active kickboxes, and you can't kick out of them, so it's not like you can do a kick from rolling out through them. You also commit to a certain animation that's like you're locked into that position, so you're going to travel a certain distance and you're going to land in a certain place every single time. I think that's it on the rolls. Let's now go over sword.
Yes, from above.
Alright, so sword is Fencer's best special. It's basically a fast-moving projectile. Once he has sword in his hand, both his air special and his ground special become throw sword. This costs no meter, and it does have some startup, so... Oop. So let's see that throw happen. I'll try to pause it right when he does the startup. Okay, so as you can see, Fencer goes back a little bit, and then I think as soon as he starts moving forward, there will be a hitbox, but I think in this backward position, he won't be able to hit anything. But as soon as he starts moving forward, the sword will then start to spin. I think it's like at full screen, it's like the hilt is gonna be up here and it's gonna point downward again if you're throwing it all the way from the back wall. But the hitbox on the sword looks like this, and the hitbox is on the sword side. So if you hit with this side, it won't register as a hit, but if you hit with this side, it will. And as it's rotating, obviously that makes things different as it kind of goes through the air. And so I try to think of how many times. I think it dips one here and then hilt and then the sword. So I think it's like this is like what it kind of looks like when it's going through. Let me do this one again. So sword down, then sword up, then sword down. Let's let that play through. As you can tell, it's pretty fast and it's a pretty large projectile. Online, it's fairly hard to react to. You can throw it in the air as well. Just note that when you do throw it and it misses, it will bounce off the wall, and the higher you throw it, the further it'll bounce off. When the round ends, if you've won the round, you'll hold on to sword while you have sword. But if you lose the round when it goes to time and you actually have the sword still, you'll end up just dropping it where you are. So if we were to end the round here, I would end up just dropping it. And it'll remember the position across rounds, so it just doesn't start in the middle every single time. So right here, Dive is going to win the round because he's closer to line. Notice that I drop sword here. But fortunately, I'm right on top of my spawn point, so I can get my sword back right away. let's see. Let's take a look at it hitting the back wall. So I'm gonna throw it here. Notice that it falls right down. I'm gonna throw it a little bit higher. Notice that it bounces and it goes a little bit further away from the wall. So the higher you throw it off, the closer it'll be to center stage, but it will hit the back wall and try to fall down. And you just the higher up you get, the better the further ricochet you get. This is important because knowing where sword is a lot of the fencer matchup, because it's such a strong weapon that you can use it to your advantage and you want to keep getting it. And if you don't know where it is, then that's going to be a problem. That one, I'm trying to show you what almost like a fake sword is, but I'm going to explain why that happens. Basically, you go into your animation, and it stops, and you basically land before you actually throw it. So here I actually threw it, and it's being let go, and actually hits fencer there with the bottom half near the hilt. But if you try to throw sword and you land before you actually let it go, then you'll hold on to sword and you'll just land. But you'll still hear that swing sound where it sounds like you threw it. So you could use this to your advantage as long as you know kind of what to expect. So you can't throw it very, very low to the ground. But you can, if you time it right, get the sword off low, but and not land and cancel it. All right, let's see if I can overlap and try to get see the top hitbox, I guess. What I'm gonna try to show is I'm gonna have fencer kind of swing and hopefully catch dive above him. Oop. Okay. So it doesn't look like I can catch him there. We'll try again where it's slightly in front. Okay, so notice there that I can actually get a hit now. So it's fairly close. You want to get the timing down right too, so that the sword actually leaves your hand. Maybe I'm throwing a little bit too late. Let's try it again. Okay. Well, maybe I'm throwing too early. Nope, doesn't look like it. Oop. I believe that as long as they're somewhat in front of you, you have a better chance at hitting them. I was able to get that timing down on the first one, but doesn't look like I'm able to get it now. Oops. Yeah. So the timing really matters here. So if someone's like coming up from above you, you want to try to either back up or maybe not throw your sword, since the timing can be fickle. But just know that you can hit them as they're coming down with the sword, even if they're above you. It just requires some timing that you'll have to work out.
Yes, from above.
If you plink KD in the air, you'll kind of get your kick momentum and then throw sword. It's kind of like showing the when you do this where you show your kick and then roll, you get that forward momentum. And if you do it with the sword, you'll move forward and throw the sword at the same time. If you end up doing a regular DK or a DK plink or a D and K at the same time, you won't have that forward momentum. So you can use this like movement mechanic however you want. So here's me throwing it with no momentum, and then here's me throwing it with forward momentum. Note that your sword will will miss if the character is either ducking or shorter, because you know, it's fairly off the ground. But if there's a character who is underneath this height, or can duck underneath that height, then they can basically just avoid your sword. And we'll go over that in specific matchups. But it's just very good to know and understand that this won't hit everyone. I want to stress that sword is what makes Fencer good, and he kind of changes what dive kick, or at least the foundations of dive kick, where you know you're just trying to kill someone with a very big kick, and instead you're using this very fast projectile. So a lot of the matches around Fencer will kind of go around based off of where his sword is, and it's next to him, if he has it, if he doesn't have it, you know, is it behind him, is it in front of him? The sword positioning will matter, and if Fencer has the sword a lot of the time, he's going to be have access to a very, very good option to hit you. Alright, I think that's enough about sword for now. Let's talk about his kick factor. His kick factor, if you've played Nidhogg, the game that Fencer is a guest star from, you'll know that there's this mechanic where you're trying to go basically 5 screens or 4 screens this way or that way. Player 1 wants to go this way, and player 2 wants to go that way. And when you pass the screen, player 1 will spawn. Player 1 will spawn again, and you'll keep doing that until one of you is like at the edge of this tug of rope war. And his kick factor, when you activate it, whichever way you're facing, you will now have you won't auto face at this point, and you'll lock the screen. You'll see a go at one edge of the screen, and this is the screen that you are the direction that you're facing when kick factor is activated. And you have 8 seconds of this extra win condition where if you walk off the screen, you win the round. It only lasts 1 round, which means that when you win, you don't have any leftover kick factor. It just ends and you take that run round. There is one exception to that, and I'll go over that in a little bit, but for the most part, you have an option to win the game just by passing your opponent and getting to the other side. That does not increase your speed or anything, and it doesn't give you extra specials. It just gives you another condition to win. I'll do the kick factor on the next part. So let's show the win here. So there's kick factor. Notice that I'm just walking. There's this nice go symbol here that tells you which way you should be walking and which way you're kind of locked to face. And this is me just kind of like running off. And I've now won the round. Dive is wondering what the hell happened. But another thing to notice is that you control the camera when you're in kick factor. And what that means is normally the camera is controlled by a combination of where both characters are. And you'll notice that they'll try to center it so that both characters are kind of equidistant from the center of the frame, from the center of the camera. Now when you get kick factor, it'll start to center around you. So it'll always want to keep you there, but you'll notice that if you move backwards, it'll try to follow you and it'll drag Dive. Even if he wants to go back the other way, he can't because you are pulling the camera across. So if you have kick factor, just know that you can control the camera, and you can back up against the camera wall if you want to and drag your opponent towards you. This can be relevant when we're talking about sword positioning to get the sword if it gets stuck behind you. But just know that you do control the camera. It'll act like normal unless you're at the edge, and that's when it starts acting weird, where you're pulling the character towards you. Let's go ahead and show that one area where you can kind of make kick factor last for more than 1 round, and that's when the character is concussed. If you pass the opponent when they are concussed and you have Kickfactor and they're still dizzy, they'll start the round with Concussion again. So notice that I won while Dive was concussed, and he'll start the next round with Concussion. But you'll notice that my Kickfactor is gone, so you don't get like a second round, but you get this weird thing where Dive is concussed. Again, for the second time. I know it's probably a bug, but it is something worthy to note. So if you do end up in that situation where you get Kickfactor, try to see if you can get past them and see if you can cause them to be concussed for another round in a row. I think that's it for Kickfactor. I already mentioned that you don't auto-face, you kind of like keep the same direction. I do want to mention that I do this all the time when I'm playing Fencer. I'll forget that I activated Kickfactor, and I'll end up doing like a backwards movement while I have it. And also when you're trying to, say, roll off a screen, if you end up picking sword, you'll end up throwing the sword. And this kind of is kind of funny when you are at the edge and you're trying to pass and you're just trying to roll your way to victory like this. You'll end up just throwing the sword repeatedly if you forget that the sword changes your specials. But let me see if I can kind of show that hilarious scenario that I've actually done in-game. We'll wait till next round. But basically, I'll use roll to like move forward and get past my opponent. I'll try to like roll my way to victory, and then all of a sudden, I pick up sword and just end up throwing it against the wall. Oh, I actually went all the way through this time. Looks like I rolled at right about the right distance where I could actually not pick up sword. Let's see if I can build this up fast enough and get Kickfactor. Yeah, so basically, if you notice that the sword's on the ground when you're trying to roll out, just don't roll. Just try to do something else, because it'll mess up your speed to get out, and you actually might get hit out of and lose the chance to win by walking off stage. I think that we've only seen it in one direction, but it will work in both directions if you happen to be on the other side. And it does go kind of where you face. So if you end up doing that thing where you roll underneath them and you jump and you're facing the wrong way, it'll still do the way you're facing, and it doesn't care about your enemy. So if you could actually get that timing down, it could be a way to pass your opponent immediately and activate Kickfactor. All right. Let's talk about common offense.
Yes, from above.
All right, Fencer's most likely offense is hit them with sword. I mean, that's fairly simple. You want to look for when they jump, you can try to hit them on landing. The further away they are, the more time they have to react to sword, so you don't want to throw it too far. You know, if you end up throwing it here, they have a lot of time to kind of react to that. But basically, having sword, it's fairly easy to get hits with sword. You can even try faking to throw sword and then throwing it for real. But you want to kind of... This is kind of one of the weird things about this particular matchup with Fencer, is every time you hit the other character, you'll notice that the sword is now on the opponent's side. And this is where a side bias kind of comes in. You want to play on your half of the screen. That way, if you hit them and it falls, it'll be on your half. And so this kind of pulls the matchup into, hey, come to my side. No, you come to mine. And you kind of get into the stare down where each of the players want to play on their side, because you basically, it's more beneficial for you to do that. Because the sword will end up, if they end up hitting you, it'll fall down. If you end up missing, it'll still go to the other side, but at least you have a chance for it to be closer to you next round. You could also just use the threat of sword to try to get kills, but for the most part, understanding position, retrieving sword, and hitting with sword is kind of the main offense of Fencer. Now, let's talk about, well, what can you do besides that, besides playing on your side and, you know, just trying to get your sword? I like to refer to this move as a stab and grab, but that's basically you hit them, and it's close enough that it falls underneath you, and you pick it up right again. So that was not an example of a stab and grab, but this would be. So I hit them, and then I pick up sword again. So basically you get the kill, and you're able to start next round with it because you've gotten it so you can actually hit it. And sometimes you can do this in the air where, let's say I have dive jump. Oops. See if I can actually do this. But basically I'm going to try to throw it like this and move forward as I'm throwing it to kind of like get to the position where I hit them but still land on it. Let's see if I can do that by controlling both players. It's probably less of a scenario that happens all the time, but. Oh. There you go. So I was able to hit dive, but since I was moving forward, I moved to the position where the sword would fall, and I ended up picking up again, starting the round with sword. The wider your opponent is, the easier this will be to do, because you'll be able to hit them from far away and still pick it up. Alright, so let's talk about the sword being away. Now, this is where your passing skills come into play. And since Fencer has very chunky movement, it's really hard to find places where you can pass. But if you can bait the character to attack you, you can roll out and then go towards your sword. You can also, if they jump too high, you can roll underneath them. Another thing you can do is you can try to bait them to attack you on the ground and roll underneath the attack as well. It'll be hard to show this. So I have to kick and roll as dive attacks. So let's see if I can do this with 2 hands. So I want to do that. Hurry up! Oop. Okay, well, I was trying to show it where if dive was to go for the attack thinking you came close, you can hit your roll to try to go underneath him. But the main point is that there's going to be times where your sword is just past the other opponent, and you have to find ways to either bait the opponent to come to you or find a way through their defense to get to the sword. And you can use your rolls to that effect. Or you can kind of just, you know, go over them as well. Obviously, if you can get a kick, if you can kick them, take that chance. But most of the time, you're trying to use the threat of the pass to kind of get in kicks as well.
Detection averted.
Round 7.
All right, we talked about sword positioning being very important. Stab and grab, passing. I think that's about it. Kickfactor can allow you to beat some other characters that don't have as good ground movement, but I would say that most of the time Kickfactor is a tool to kind of help you get your sword. You can win using Kickfactor, but against people who are playing really good defense and don't let you pass, it's going to be really hard to pass them. That's why getting sword is going to be hard as well. But there's going to be positions where your sword is just behind you. Let's say you threw it across the screen when you were on the other side. It is now behind you. And the other character, your enemy, can just use this wall to like not let you go back there. And you can use the camera control from Kickfactor to basically bust through that wall and grab your sword again. So right here, I can't go back and get my sword, but if I get Kickfactor, I can now do that. Of course, I rolled and didn't pick up sword. But that is something you can use Kickfactor to do.
Detection warning. Choke detection warning.
You can also look to use Kickfactor when it's about to be the line, so that they're going to try to defend line, but they also have to worry about you passing and running off screen. Because it doesn't take that long to pass and run off screen. And so if you put them in that position where they're not sure, you can kind of just run off screen if you have enough time.
Choke detected.
And it'll put them in a position, do I try to work my way towards the center line, or do I stop them from passing me? And so I would say that's kind of one of the better uses of Kickfactor. There are certain characters like Baz and Shoals that have really bad ground movement, and Kickfactor is just an easy win against them if you can get it, because there are so many different ways to pass them. But for most other characters who have good ground movement, getting past someone is not really it's going to be tough. But you can kind of gauge that when you're playing against different characters. But just know that Kickfactor can allow you to control the camera to get the sword behind you, and you can use it when line time is approaching. All right, let's talk about counterplay.
Yes, from above.
Sword is kind of the
Round.
position you want to be in, and we were talking about just playing on your side. So one of the questions you want to ask yourself when you're playing against Fencer is, can you defend center sword? If you can, then you want to immediately kind of like stand on it and look for ways to stop Fencer from getting sword. If you can't, then you might want to just move backward so that Fencer is forced to move to your half of the screen. And don't engage until he decides to fight there, because if he pulls you to his side and gets a hit with sword, the sword is now all of a sudden on his side, and we don't want that. So the first thing to do when you're playing against Fencer is play on your side, and that lends to keeping the sword away from Fencer because that's his best option. If Fencer throws a sword and it ends up on this wall or that wall, you'll play it a bit differently. If it's behind you, this is a good position because now you can kind of walk forward, and you're always trying to play very passive defense and not let Fencer get past you. Fencer doesn't have a meter threat, so if you leave Dive alone and he builds meter, he'll eventually get Kickfactor, and he'll be really fast and really scary. Now, in contrast, if you build meter as Fencer, all you will get is to be able to go this way for the win. And we, as this person right here, we're already defending that because we don't want them to get the sword. So no matter what Fencer does, he's not gaining an advantage by gaining meter. That can be different when the time comes down to line, and he can start putting you in a position where he uses Kickfactor to make you decide between letting him pass or defending line. But for the most part, I don't think Fencer has any long-term meter advantage. Now, even short-term meter advantage, Dive can get his air special and his ground special. So it's advantageous for you to kind of wait and let Fencer come to you. Try to build meter as you can, but you want to be ready for when he starts to come forward. And this kind of play style kind of lends to once the sword is behind you, Fencer doesn't want to move forward because it's really hard to break someone who's just playing very passive defense, and so you'll basically go to time a decent amount. And this is usually bad for Fencer. Usually I like to talk about line game after concussion, but it's very relevant here because a lot of times Fencer can go to line game if he refuses to, try to pass to get his sword. Because right now the optimal play for the other player is to kind of just sit and wait for Fencer to make a mistake, or build a bit of meter so that they can go into line with specials or attack Fencer. Usually the more you attack, the more that Fencer can use his ground roll or his air roll to kind of get past you. And so passive defense is usually the optimal strategy. Once this kind of threshold is reached and Fencer starts to play line game with you, if you're good on your line game, we talked about it earlier, a foot-to-foot clash will be won by the someone who is not Fencer, because Fencer's foot is very overlapped with his hurt box. So that's a disadvantage that Fencer has at line. The other disadvantage is Fencer's specials, the roll on the ground or the air, they don't attack. So they don't have any teeth. And they're only like movement specials that can kind of get you to line, but you can't take it actively. In contrast here, Dive can kind of do a forward jump into line. He can do a jump up and come down, or kick right above and come down as another option. But generally speaking, Dive's ability to take line actively, he can do that with his ground special, whereas Fencer doesn't really have that option. And Dive can afford to hit foot versus foot because he'll most likely tie or win those matches. And you'll find that a lot of the matches where Fencer takes it to the line game, Fencer usually doesn't have a line opportunity or an advantage in line game. And most of the time that his height is pretty good, which allows him to get in. But most of the characters have other tools that allow them to win line that Fencer just doesn't have. And so basically, once Fencer understands that the line game isn't that great, that's assuming that someone over here knows how to play the line game, then it'll rotate back into Fencer needs to, get his sword. And so he will then be forced to pass again. And that's kind of like how I see the progression of people learning this matchup is the enemy understands that sword is strong and starts defending sword. Fencer understands that defending is strong and doesn't want to pass. Then it goes to line game, and then you figure out, okay, who's better at the line game? If it's the enemy, then Fencer is forced to go towards the enemy, and if it's not the enemy, then Fencer can build up Kickfactor and use that, or force the other person to come across. And there's not many people who lose a line game against Fencer. So I would say that most of the time Fencer is forced to kind of come and get his sword. All right. The one thing I want to mention when you are playing Fencer is you want to look for his movement chunks. And what I mean by that is we talked about the high minimum kick height, and you'll notice that Fencer will move in chunks. So this is as fast as he can move. So the minimum amount of movement when he does this, you can kind of map out. It isn't like Dive where he has a lot more variation in where he's taking a step, and it's also a lot faster. When Fencer moves, it's very chunky, so it'll take a lot of time. And if you can notice, like, okay, well, if he hits a KK, it only moves like about that far. Then you can kind of use that to understand. If he's trying to get closer to me here, I already know he's going to be, somewhat close to me that I can launch an attack there. But if you kind of get this, if you get this movement of how he moves, you can also time his kickback, because his kickback, remember, you can't kick very low, so at some point he has to go all the way back. And you can kind of you can use that timing to force him all the way back as well, if he ends up doing a kickback. Just be careful, because he can roll, and whenever you're trying to attack him, you have to understand that he does have the roll option. Early on, when you're playing against a Fencer, they're gonna bait you into trying to punish their landing, and then they're just gonna use air roll to get past you and get their sword. So just understand the movement that Fencer has is limited by his minimum height jump, and if you can remember that pattern, you can aim your kicks to be very efficient in hitting the spaces where he can travel. And you can be far enough away as well so that you can react if you make a mistake. So yeah, counterplay is 1, separate fencer from sword, 2, defend sword,
ラウンド
and 3, just try to be patient, because I think that if you are patient, fencer doesn't have any tools to crack a patient player. He does have sword, but like I said, if you are able to get sword on your side, think of this as you lost 1 health to make fencer really weak. Don't think about it as losing a round. You just think about you want to get it out early, and then you want to be able to just make fencer try to do something to win. If not, play your line game and win at the line. All right, I think that's it for counterplay. Let's talk about concussion now. Oops, I was supposed to do that the other way. I guess I can talk about attacking with concussion. So when you're fencer and you have sword and they're concussed, don't use sword to kill. Try to get your kills here just by using your normal kick. And your movement is usually pretty bad because it's so chunky, but since they can't move that much, you want to get in, you want to aim to get into that power position where you can jump above them and get a kick in. And again, that's just using this. Basically, you want to be somewhere right here to kind of jump and force them back and get a good kick in. Fencer is fast enough that if you can set up this jump, it's a really good attack. It's just that most of the time getting to this is kind of tough because you have to find a good kick that goes into it. I think your smallest kick is about that big, so you can't use 2 kicks to get into it because 2 kicks would be too far. But you kind of get what I'm saying as far as since they're concussed, try to abuse that so that you can get over your bad movement and get in a position where you can jump somewhat close to them and get that kill. Now looking at it the other way, your minimum kick height looks really bad when you're concussed because it's still, even though you jump slower, you still have to respect that that minimum kick height, and so it feels even longer before you actually get a kick out. So I'm going to do a kick here as fast as I can. Notice how high I have to jump. Look how high I am. I cannot kick until I hit that height. So doing a fast attack is just not, it's not in the cards for fencer. So as fencer, you want to look to lose the round as soon as possible and not get headshot again. So I would not look to try to survive the round or try to, stop an approach from coming, because this right here, it just takes too long. And also when you're doing a kickback, it's also a bad problem. Because that minimum kick height totally messes up your kickback as well. It is worth noting that fencer does have like a hunched over stature, and he's a little bit shorter than normal, so do be wary of that. If you are other characters trying to play against fencer, you have to aim a little bit lower than you normally do if you want to hit him in the head. And I think that if you try to throw the sword at fencer in a fencer mirror, you can miss him if he's crouched at a certain rotation area. But let's just show the kickback one more time. Yeah, so there I was kind of mashing. You can see how late that kickback kick comes out. So yeah, if you are a fencer and you're concussed, priority number 1, end the round by dying as soon as possible. Obviously, if you can survive, go ahead and do it, but I would recommend the more time you give them, the more time they can set up a headshot.
Round 4, Divekick.
Let's talk about gem selection.
Select your character.
I got 7 backwards caps, and they're all the same color.
Select your jewels.
I normally prefer kick gem, just because fencer's weakness has to do with his clunky movement, and you want to have the ability to pass, and kick helps you with that a lot more than dive does. Now, some matchups you will need the extra height from dive, or it will be really helpful, like against some of the taller jumpers where you can pass them a little bit easier. you might want the dive gem to counteract their attacks when they come in from high. But for the most part, I think kick gem is the better gem for Fencer just because it enables him to do faster attacks, and the faster you can pass someone, the better. Meter gem, I would say, just as I said before, meter doesn't matter for Fencer that much because his power is in sword and his specials don't require meter, so you're really only getting meter gem for Kickfactor. And I don't know if Kickfactor can justify giving up a faster kick or a higher jump. So definitely not a gem that I would pick for any matchup. All right, let's see if we can find some matches here. I believe, give me some time. I'm gonna see if I can stir up Laitome or Axem. 1 second. Okay, looks like Axem is available, so we're gonna go ahead and try to enter his lobby.
Hello again.
Hey Axem, how you doing?
Alrighty.
All right, I'm not sure if Lai is available today, but we'll see. We're gonna start off with our normal match against Dive.
Alright.
Did you want to play the Fencer side or Dive side?
I'll do dive, I think.
Okay, cool.
Alright, I should open the game. That would help.
All right, I'll open a lobby for you and have it waiting.
Okay.
Actually, I should check my GGPO to make sure it's set at the correct value. Looks like it's 2, that's correct. For those that are watching GGPO, there's a certain delay frame you can set. It does use, Divekick does use rollback netcode, but it's overlapped on top of some delay frames as well, or delay netcode, or basically the further they are, I want to increase the delay so I get a smoother, I give the two computers a larger window to figure out what's going on. So it looks smoother at the cost of input lag. And you know, if you're playing someone overseas, that kind of can help with the choppiness. All right, my lobby is now made. Let me get some names up here. All right.
Alright, 1 second.
No worries.
Okay.
Select your character.
Yeah, Laitome looks like he will be available, so we'll start some rotations in.
Oh, maybe he'll be willing to play the Shoals matchup.
I don't mind playing the Shoals side.
Select your brain.
I'm gonna go here with Kick Jam.
Select your duds.
Hey, Lai.
Hey, Laitome.
Before you guys start, you should probably stream it in the. Oh, you already are.
Oh yeah, should be up.
Let me double check. I have you a little bit lower on my side, so.
Alright, it's up.
Can you speak again, Laitome?
Hello?
I'm gonna turn you up just a little bit. You speak again?
Yes, I'm
Alright.
here.
Okay, that works.
This from above. Round 1. Dive kick. Hurry up.
So now I have to decide as the line comes out, am I gonna win line with sword or not?
Judgment.
Looks like it just went straight tie.
Round.
Sword's still kind of near me, so I could probably grab it. Okay, I missed.
Oh, I was
And
expecting the toe tap.
Axem gets the toe tap there.
ラウンド
So now I gotta think about passing and getting my sword, or I could just play for line. Let's try to play for line. We'll see if that works. Okay, against Kickfactor, probably not good. There was me rolling and pressing kickback right at the wrong time that I faced the wrong way. Okay, got sword now. Probably should have thrown it a little bit closer, but I was thinking if I hit him, it would land on my side, I get to pick it up again. I do have Kickfactor here, so I could probably get the sword if I wanted to.
Oh wait, it was on that side.
Looks like Axem forgot where it was. Let me have it.
Let's take it, right.
I was trying to see if I can pass or pressure with it, but looks like I got the kill anyway.
7 大キック
Ooh, nice. I was trying to see if I can line up a stab and grab, but I ended up doing his arc there. Messed me up. There you
Oh,
go.
I should have done a normal jump. Yeah, that would have helped.
That was a good hit. It hits on his side or on my side, and I'll land the sword right at the beginning of the next round. Very aware about his arc now.
Hurry up!
Multiply.
There was enough time for me to get that kill off, so
ラウンド
now I have sword and only need win one round, so I don't have to worry about the positioning as much. Okay, I missed. Ooh, a little bit of a scramble. I was able to win that one though.
wins.
I think I have dive slightly higher here. His movement is pretty good at keeping Fencer away from sword, and he has arc to help him kind of like take line, and his kick factor is just good if Fencer lets him have it. How you feeling on the dive side, Axem?
It's okay. I just have to keep in mind which side sword's on.
Yeah, remembering
usually helps.
sword position is #1 thing to do in the Fencer matchup.
This from above.
It drives the gameplay between the two characters.
1 大キック
That's a good stab and grab. I was able to pick it up right after.
ラウンド 2 大キック
Oh. Okay, so he's using the camera wall to prevent me from going back, which is a good tactic. This will probably go to line unless he wants to keep coming forward. It's like he's not going to. Ah! So I wasn't able to get that timing in. I didn't want to go low because he could just wait and do that jump kick, so I tried to go high. And I did not do my timing correctly. Nice defense.
ラウンド
About to get Kickfactor here.
Multiply. Too much
Aw.
randomness.
Reaction times.
At least you didn't get the sword back.
5
Yes, that's always a consolation.
I think you mean to say that was the plan all along.
Oh, it was totally intentional. Alright, I mean, I'm close to the line here, so...
hurry up.
Ah. Maybe I should have just went for a kick, but that was too much time left on the clock.
6大キック
I got a headshot there.
Please join my study group.
ラウンド 7大キックダブルキル
Okay, this is awesome.
ラウンド8大キッ
That's what I wanted to do the last round.
ク wins.
Spencer's, he jumps faster than dive and kicks faster than kick. But the min height kind of limits his movement. But if he can position himself right, that combination is really good. So going against concussed, you can normally land a kill. Getting the second headshot was just gravy, but try to get those regular kick kills when you have headshots or concussions.
1大キック
Ooh. Trying to hit you on the jump there.
Reacted just in time. Oh, reactions.
Round 3 dive kick.
Alright, looks like Axem's getting a little too close for his own reaction and online reactions. We're gonna... Oh. Oh, you let me have it. Let's pick it up! Ah. I was hoping for the stab and grab there.
Round 5 dive kick.
Nice fake. Got me to move and commit to a jump.
Round 6 dive kick.
Oh, that was the wrong way. Oh.
Maybe I should have gone to get my sword, but I figure I can walk off now.
7 dive kick. Headshot.
I'm like waiting for you to do arc. I'm like, I'm getting ready to jump back. It's gonna come. Was not arc though. Alright, I think that was 3-0. Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, that was set.
But playing on the dive side, you kind of want to use your movement and play defense. He has a pretty good chance at beating Fencer.
You want to wait and have good reactions, and I had one of those.
Yeah, patience is key. The next matchup I kind of want to go over is maybe let's do Kenny and Baz. I think those are the most like standout ones. Lai, do you want to do Kenny?
Sure.
All right. I'll leave my lobby up so you can join. Change the names here. So the good thing about Kenny is that he's so short that most of the time you're going to miss your sword throw if he's standing still. Laitome, me and you, we kind of worked this out. Let's go ahead and show it on screen. Our two-finger theory here.
Oh yeah, the fingering theory.
Yes, so if you'll notice that when Kenny is in his stance, he has his hand out with two fingers sticking up. If you are touching sword in a normal stance, you will get hit by it if you're at the far end of the sword. So
Alright, so grab the sword.
yeah,
Yeah, mark.
that's fine. You can just stay there. So I'll move towards you. There you go. I think this will miss.
Yeah, it should.
Okay. Yeah, so notice that the rotation, like the sword kind of goes like towards his hand and then it rotates above him. And you basically can't hit him past that. So, oh, okay.
I was about to say go under me.
Sorry.
Round 3 dive kick.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Grab
All right, so
your
go to the farthest. Go all the way back. Yeah, so you can't hit him here. And you can't hit him mid-screen either.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I'll throw it right where we start. Be doing a lot of sword chasing here.
4 dive kick.
Yeah, so I believe that whole time, damn, this move is so far. The whole time the
Round 5 dive
only time you're gonna get to actually hit him with the sword is when he's right up and touching the sword. Okay, so just stay still.
Oh, alright.
I'll go on the other side. So right here,
This
you
will hit.
should be able to hit him with sword. So if you're ever facing Kenny and he's standing to the point where he's touching your sword, then that means you can hit him. There is an area where if he's too close, you might miss. But I think this will hit. Yeah, that'll hit. But for the most part, just know that the far end is kind of the one you want to know. This one, you might probably...
This will miss.
Yeah, that'll miss. But most of the time, like, if you're this close, he'll probably kick you before you can throw it because your startup on your sword still takes some time. Yeah, I think this will hit. Yeah.
Alright, wanna do the real match now?
Yeah, let's play a real set now. So if you are playing Kenny and your fencer, know your start distances when you can throw. Obviously, if Kenny jumps, you got him either way, but just know you will miss otherwise. Good luck, have fun.
From above.
Yep, good luck, have fun. Once again, Kenny's strongest tech is standing still.
Round 2. Dive kick.
Ooh, too fast.
Bit fast, yeah.
Round 3. Dive kick.
I was hoping you would kick forward and I'd hit you and I'd pick it back up.
Round
Did not happen.
4. Dive kick.
I got half that plan.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Don't know why I tried to roll under that attack. I have sword. I can't roll.
Dive kick.
Oh, that's bad.
Round 6. Dive kick.
Alright, I'll take it.
Round 7. Dive kick.
Ooh, this
A lot
is
of
good.
dive today.
Perfecto.
Oh, and you got the sword
I
too,
got the
'cause it
sword
was-
too, yeah.
And also, while I'm concussed, obviously, you can still hit
Double
me.
kill.
I'm pretty sure if I rolled Kung here, I'm just dead.
Dive kick.
I think you've got a small chance either way. I do have sword and you're concussed, so chances to get above sword is pretty low.
Yes, from above. Round 1. Dive kick.
Oh man, nice.
I knew you wouldn't see it coming.
Round
I'm like trying to set up a stab and grab, but I'm like, right as I tried to get closer. Oh, there's the foot-to-foot problem.
Your daily hitbox coming in.
Yeah.
round 3. Dive kick.
Oh.
I just need to remember that, like, as long as I'm, like,
Dive kick.
any distance away from you.
Know every move.
Okay, that was not intentional.
Oh, I should have rolled there. Probably should have jumped. I was scared of a Kickfactor Kong though.
5. Dive kick.
Oh my gosh.
Headshot.
Roll does decently well against Kung. That's why I was rolling a lot against Kung's stance.
6. Dive kick.
A little bit closer to me now, but still kind of far away.
Dive kick.
Oh.
Round
Crappy.
8. Dive kick.
There's a good stab and grab.
Round 9.
I think I might have Kickfactor too, so I'll have all the options. Oh my gosh.
No!
Yes. Able to run off screen.
Yes, from above.
Kenny's pretty tough because he can be random, so as fencer you kind of want to understand who he is and see like what's the best way to pass that person. Oh, and sword, I guess I don't really care about the sword position as much just because I know it's not as effective this game, so it's nice to have it a lot, but trying to understand who Kenny is and how to exploit who he is can't help.
Be soon on the turnaround.
Round 3. Dive kick.
Alright, looks like he was gonna kick there, so was able to get him before he can stand and duck my sword.
4. Dive kick.
Oh no, nice defense. Would probably be not as greedy, should have thought of a different way to get the sword. Oh. Didn't think you would come in. I should just did my air roll to avoid it. That's a good kick factor here. Probably a good stance to get. He still has kick factor though.
It counts as a time win. Yeah, you're the only one with projectiles now.
Oh, oh. Holy arrows coming at me, but I was able to avoid it. I think I can roll underneath, but rolling commits me to a low stance, and I might not want to commit that much movement when he can move forward.
We're sitting kick back.
Yeah, just catching a meter build kick there. All right, I think that's 3-0. Axem, let's go over the Baz glitch bug.
Oh, right.
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Really?
Oh, at least I don't remember it.
Okay.
Should we demo it first?
Yeah, we'll do a quick demo of it. How's your I'm thinking N and red next as like the strong and the weak. Which one? Which one do you prefer, Laitome?
My N is probably better than my red since I'm not very good at feral stancing. Otherwise, if you want, I could play fencer. You could play red.
Oh yeah, that works either way. Okay, cool. Axem, do you have a preference on those two? And you can play either side.
I could attempt either. So, like I did first.
Okay. All right. So the problem with this matchup, on paper, Baz has very bad ground movement because most of his ground movement is tied to swinging around. So he doesn't really have ground movement. But your sword placement in this is pretty good. Blabuer saying that Axem got 2 points with Baz in their tourney match, or was that tourney?
I remember
Blab,
Twitch,
or was that the league match? I think it was. I think that was league when you were playing.
Judgment.
Oh, whoops! There goes my meter.
Oh, sorry. All right, let's go back to during the league match. Let's get back to the problem. So whenever Fencer is touching sword, you can actually lightning the sword and it'll hit Fencer as well. So go ahead and do your ground special real quick.
Oh, ground? Okay.
Yeah, so notice that it killed me even though the lightning didn't hit me, it hit the sword. This works with both lightning effects. Not necessarily the shield of Baz, but both his air lightning and the lightning that hits him from the sky. And go ahead and show the air lightning one here. You can actually hit the sword while it's on the ground and still kill Fencer, even if it's not attached to him. Apparently it's still part of his body, and so you're pretty much attached to it. Unfortunately, you can't hit that with the ground special. Go ahead and show the ground special one. Because the ground special doesn't actually go to where the hitbox is on the sword. This also works on passing. This might be really, really hard to do, but we'll try it. So Axem, I'm going to throw it above your head. You're going to try to hit it with the...
The ground special?
Yeah. Alright, ready?
Yep. Oh, okay. Alright.
There it is.
Hey,
So,
first try this time. I think it was like 20 the last time.
So you can actually hit sword wherever it is with any of the Baz's lightning abilities, and this makes the sword a liability in Fencer's eyes. So you don't want to leave a sword in a spot where Baz can lightning very easily, because he can basically just get free rounds. The good thing about Fencer when you're playing against Baz is your kick factor is really strong here. If you build up kick factor, you can roll off screen for the win, since you can basically use roll to kind of avoid most of his low swings, and if he goes too low, you can always just jump and kick him. So passing Baz is a lot easier than passing a lot of other characters. I'd say you either want to use dive gem to get extra height to basically compete with Baz in the air, or you want meter gem so you can activate kick factor more often. And this is like the only match I would say that kick factor matters a lot, because it's your strongest tool against Baz. You can still beat him with roll and kicks, but Kickfactor is kind of like that easy win if you can build it safely. I think that's enough on the glitch. Do you want to jump to the set, Axem?
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, Laitome, you were aware of this, right?
Yes, I was.
Okay, cool. Alright, good luck, have fun.
Yep.
Round 1. Dive
Oh no, rolling the wrong way.
Round 2. Dive
Ooh,
Oh, those were there now.
that was a flash pause input error.
Round
No, I just used it a little bit too early.
Ooh, I should have jumped. I should have let my jump go a little bit higher there.
Round 4. Dive
Oh, yeah. Taking line from Axem's going to be a little bit hard. I could try to roll in, but that's only going to get me a tie.
Oh, facing the wrong way.
Able to get past him with my Kickfactor.
6.
Seeing if he would jump into it. Okay, he's got a kick. He's got his air special now. Have to be worried about that.
7.
Would you say it's a viable strategy in this matchup to just toss a sword into a corner as soon as you get it?
Well, it could be. I mean, you could try to use it for an attack, but you don't want it to land right where he spawns, because that's the worst scenario. Oh, nice hookup.
Wins.
Always scared to go low against Fencer.
Yeah, he does have a fairly fast and high jump. Even when he's concussed. His low kick doesn't matter against you as much. I mean, his minimum high kick, because you're mainly high most of the time.
Yeah.
Yes, from above.
So Fencer's weakness is basically Baz doesn't have the tools to exploit Fencer's weaknesses. So the new weakness is that bug. Luckily you weren't kicking there, because I probably would have lost if you were kicking. It got you during your startup.
That was quite a blow. Round 3.
Pick it up. Yes.
Good air one, yeah.
4.
Yeah, this is probably bad. I'm gonna give him a round, but I kind of want to just get the kill.
Fraud detection warning. Fraud detection warning.
Round 5.
Okay.
Detection
He might get
averted.
one more, but I still have a good lead here.
6.
Okay.
Oh, I went further back.
Round
Out of the dead spot.
7.
Oh. Okay, I got Kickfactor now, so we'll see if he can stop it with his one air special. Ooh.
Offensive wins.
As you can see, you have a lot of options to kind of pass Baz. Baz ground special is a good way to stop a pass. You just have to time it correctly. Unfortunately, I was able to bait it out there and not kick right away, because if I kicked right away, I would have hit the lightning.
Yes, from above. Round 1.
Oh no.
Round 2.
Ooh. I was wondering if I can hit you fast enough before the lightning came out.
3.
I had to jump there because he would have just delayed kicked and hit me. Still doesn't matter because he lightning me in the corner. So. All right, take my free.
Some meter.
Yeah, take my free KF win. I'll see what else I can do. Oh, nice.
Round 6.
All right.
Round 7.
Still got a lot of work to do. In the meantime, he's getting a lot of meter.
The Bazet wins.
Yeah, that's a race I'll win, I think, if you don't pick up sword. So, well, as long as I play cleanly enough.
Yeah, yeah. It tends to be a meter race that Baz can win, and that's why I have Baz. Because of the fact that you can't leave sword around, it becomes this meter race, and Baz can win this meter race because his special just costs less than Kickfactor. And I think as Fencer, you have some moves that you can do while Baz is on low, or you can try to be more aggressive to force more lightnings out of him. So you can kind of decide. Right now, I was trying to go for Kickfactor. You're obviously beating me out, so I'm going to have to try to mix that up. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, from above.
It's definitely not unwinnable as Fencer.
1.
Oh, I should have kicked there. I think that was a headshot. Ooh. Probably shouldn't have rolled.
Round 2.
Oh.
Oh, okay, that was just very bad timing. That's all. Yeah.
Round 3.
Oh no, this
That's
is
fine.
bad. This is bad. I shouldn't have thrown sword. He has meter for 1 kill here. Yeah, okay. He's gonna lose it though, so we'll see if I can get to him before he builds it again. I need to move that sword. Nice.
Oh, it's like, right, I have 2 ropes.
Round 6.
Aw.
Was able to jump right over the lightning.
Round
Concussion wear off just the right time.
Ooh.
The Bazet wins.
I was trying to roll into him, try to get a kick, but he let that second kick go, so. Good gamble, good gamble. Alright, did you want to be Laitome? So we're gonna do either Mr. N or Red next.
I'll be Fencer. I think you're better than me with both of those characters.
Axem, did you have a preference on one of those ones? And then I'll just play the opposite one here.
I guess I could try playing Redacted.
Okay, so I'll play Mr. N then. So I say this is one of Mr. N's harder matchups, and it mainly has to do with they're actually so wide. It allows Fencer to do stab and grabs a lot more. And
Do your character.
We can have a money match. That'll be fine.
Select your gems.
and Mr. N isn't really good, I would say. He can't punish Fencer's movement as much because he has to kind of get above, and Fencer's roll allows him to kind of get into safety pretty well.
What do you recommend?
I would say kick. You're not out jumping Mr. N,
Select
so
your
you want
duds.
to be able to pass him. So I'd say Fencer has a pretty good lead here because of the
Yes, from above.
the wideness of Mr. N. But Mr. N can still have tricks because he can pause in the air, and he has pretty good ground movement in general.
No.
He's just a very large target for that sword to hit. Ooh. Basically, I ended up doing a kickback into float a lot in this matchup.
Round 3.
Maybe I should be using run back more, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to control the ground game enough so Fencer can't pass me.
Round 4. Dive kick.
Oh, really trying to line up the headshot. I was getting a little too greedy there.
Round 5. Dive kick. Round 6. Dive kick.
Oops. Nice.
Round 7. Dive kick.
Mr. N can't really defend the center sword as well.
Hurry up.
Oh, I was hoping to get a headshot here.
I was hoping to hit you in the stomach.
Round 8. Dive kick.
Oh. Oh.
Hurry up.
Ooh.
Headshot.
All right.
Oh.
If it comes to line, I know I can win that as Mr. N.
Round 9. Dive kick.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what?
Wins.
Hey man, I told you. Foot to foot, Fencer has got a problem.
That was like anyone else, I would have won.
Yeah, anyone else.
Yes.
I made the right call.
Blavouer, yeah, Fencer doesn't tie, he loses.
Dive kick.
Yes.
Headshot.
Alright, sword's on my side though.
Yeah. You can actually, if you can time it right, you can actually counter me. Because I'm so large, if I'm like above you, you can like counter me with the sword, and that's what, it's really hard to hit Fencer when he has sword as Mr. N. Where's the sword again? I think it's behind me.
Yeah, it's behind you.
Yeah, no, it's not behind me.
Round 4. Dive kick.
I almost went too far to give you a sword. Oh, hop hop. Forgot how to double
What's
jump.
hopping?
Round 5. Dive kick.
Oh. Catches it in the air. Nice stab and grab.
Round 6. Dive kick.
Alright, I'll take it.
Not
Put it in
sure
the
if that was
corner.
worth it. We'll find out soon enough.
7.
Surprised they didn't punch you in the neck pillow.
Wait.
Yeah, neck pillow does not.
I need to remember that, like, kickback is just straight up safe in this matchup.
Oh, nice.
The fencer.
Yeah, it moves pretty far backwards, and can't really chase that well. It's a tough spot for Mr. N, but I mean, he still has air pause and he still moves quickly, so.
Yes.
Although
There are
apparently I can
options.
hit you in the middle of your jump with just hopping.
1.
Like, apparently I can just straight up height challenge you with the sword.
Yes.
Catching me in that recovery.
I think early on you probably could have just hit me when it was already overlapping me. Oops. Oh, too close. I'm really trying to go for those headshots.
Yeah, but you're not respecting your own stomach.
Hopefully I can continue this.
Wait. I actually wasn't sure what way I was facing, so I was afraid to kick back again.
Oh!
That kickback, man.
It's doing well.
Paying dividends. And then I just jump into another headshot.
Round 7. Take that. Mr. N wins.
Mr. N's still good against concussed characters. Doesn't stop with the fencer. Just Fencer. When Fencer has sword, there's a lot of options for him to hit Mr. N and still keep sword.
Yeah, I need to not go for range shots, or at least shots that don't end up on your side of the screen, because I can't pass you.
Yeah, I can't defend center, but if I can separate you from sword, I'm good.
That hit you.
Round 2. Dive kick.
Take that.
Oh.
I'm free!
Alright, we'll leave it over there.
Hurry up.
Oh.
The chair go.
Alright, I was just going for not getting headshot there, but you know, I'll take the footsies win.
Dive kick.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh.
Hi.
Do I come in with Kickfactor? That's a question. Or I just keep you away from sword.
I'll take that.
Actually, if you're gonna get oh, a tie. I was expecting to win that.
5. Dive
Alright, I can keep you away from sword now.
Take that. Take that. Take that.
Ooh.
$1 bills, y'all.
Round 6. Dive kick.
Only 4 meals? Take that.
Oh! This is bad.
That was a panic throw, not gonna lie.
7. Dive kick.
Ooh. I was just managing your chunky movement. I was like, he's gonna be over here if he tries to get closer. Ooh.
That's broken.
Yeah, it might be too wide to be that close. To back up just a smidge.
9. Dive kick.
Take that. Take that.
Headshot.
Oh no. Alright. Let's see if I can get the read.
Dive kick.
Take that.
Double kill.
Alright.
Mr. N wins.
Okay, so the next one we're doing is Redacted, who I think is like the opposite end of the spectrum. Because Redacted just has all the tools. Like, she doesn't care about sword because she can duck. Her defense is really good. She's got the best hitbox in the game. And so I think that sums up why Fencer has a rough time with her.
And Red can just jump over the sword and has one of the shortest jump times in the game.
Yeah, I mean...
So like Red can literally just spam jump and like congrats.
No,
You can't hit her with sword anymore.
I think you could still hit her if she jumps. I'm just saying she doesn't have to jump. She could just duck.
Yeah, she can just duck and get free meter.
Yeah.
Select your character.
And you wanted to go red, correct?
Yeah, I'll go red.
Okay.
Select your bring. Select your duds.
I'm not sure what to do here as Fencer. There's this thing that Redacted can do where she just ferals the opposite way, and I don't know if you can hit that because you don't have a fast attack.
From above.
I can... If someone has perfect reflexes, obviously Axem may mess up and I might be able to get a kill. Oh, get out of there.
Hurry up.
Yeah, I don't think there's...
Yes!
Oh, I was trying to swap. Yeah. Reverse is better for that reason.
Round 2.
Yeah, I think if you're just doing reverse, I think you'll be fine.
Ooh, I was hoping for a second headshot there.
Round 3. Dive kick.
See, you can hit a jumping Redacted.
Well, when they're going in.
4. Dive kick.
Like, is there anything Venture can do?
I don't know. You tell me, because I don't know what to do against this. Because I don't want
Like, if he
to.
toss sword, like, it'll just go
It'll
over
miss.
because he's shorter than frickin' Kenny.
Hurry up.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know what to do against that. I mean, I could try to test his reflexes, but I'm still not liking it. My chances, because you have to hit pretty
Quite
far
literally
back.
the skunk maneuver.
Oh.
Hurry up.
Oh, you got no meter. To done.
Yeah, I tried to jump, but again, reflexes.
6 大キック
Nope.
Yeah, with Venture's somewhat chunky movement, it's hard to get close.
Sure, I jumped in time. Reflexes are off today.
Yeah, yeah.
Those delay frames.
Yeah, offline it's a lot easier to react, but online you do have to deal with not being able to see the jump until like they're already in there. So it is something you have to deal with.
Yes, from above. Round 1 大キック
Oh, nice. Good spacing.
Round 2大キック
What was that, Laitome?
3
It's so ridiculous. Like Red just faces her ass towards you and then yep, Fencer can't do anything.
I mean,
Can't approach, can't go over, can't go under.
Hurry up.
oh, yeah, I was can't really do anything
Can't throw
there.
the sword.
Round 4大キック
Oh,
yes.
I thought I failed there.
Round 5大キック
Well, you got no duck for just a little bit.
Round 6大キック
Oh,
For like 2 kicks, and then
Round 7大キック
nice, nice.
Alright, that was a cleaner approach.
Yes, from above. Round 1大キック
Yeah, I should just let my kick go all the way back. It's probably bad though.
大キック
Oh, I didn't have air special yet. Okay.
Round 3大キック
Hey, test it.
Round 4大キック
Oh, once again, one kick below. Oh, I gotta watch my meter.
Round 5大キック
Oh. I'm not sure. I guess it will save you hit the wall.
6
But if you don't hit the wall, then it won't save you, I guess. Oh no.
Round
I'm pretty sure the sword hitbox is out there too. Just red.
Round 8大キック
Oh, okay. I was sure I kicked at some point during that process, but I guess not.
Round 9大キック Double KO
Expected.
That's a surprise.
I'm just glad I didn't lose.
10大キック
Oh, nice, nice.
Hey, actually, I failed once.
Yeah, it's like your feral up close, it will lose to KK, and it's a slow KK.
Right, right.
Because you can just let go and stand up. A DK, I will
Check,
always
right.
go over you because of my minimum height kick. Like, if we're close to each other, then I just jump too high. So yeah, it's really tough to deal with feral as fencer.
Yes, from above. Round 1大キック
All right, I'll take my kills now.
Round 2
Next kick, you literally have to.
Oh no. I wanted to roll the other way.
Round 3 dive kick. Hurry up.
Oh. See if I can hit you on the way down.
Round 4.
If I hadn't kicked, that probably would have hit.
I was trying to hit your kick. I think I just threw it too early.
Well, that was weird.
What the heck just happened?
That was me moving the camera back and she was still on the wall.
Round
Because I had camera control when I hit Kickfactor. Oh no.
Round 6 dive kick.
Yeah, I hit KK as fast as I could.
Round 7 dive kick.
Nope. GG's, GG's.
Wins.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, so once again, Redacted has all the checkboxes. Can duck to avoid sword, is very, very defensive. You don't want to move into Redacted so she can prevent the pass. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need. Alright, so next on the list that I wanted to cover was possibly Markman, but
Oh, I was thinking Kung.
I mean, I can do Kung, or I think at this point I covered all the ones that I kind of want to. We could do Shoals as well.
Oh no. Oh no.
I can play the opposite side, but Laitome, what do you want to do? I think we covered like the main ones at least.
I'll do Mark, I guess.
No, just it doesn't have to be the one that I just talked about. It could be anybody. Who do you want to have fun at?
I was actually thinking that we should do a horizontal character, so either Mark or Kung.
Okay, so and you want to do Kung, or you want to do Mark?
I'll do Mark. I'll do Markman.
Okay, do you want to be Markman? Do you want to be Fencer?
I'll be Mark.
Okay.
Don't switch the blade on a guy in shades.
Select your jewels.
Now, Mark actually does have a duck.
Yeah, Mark
Not
has
as good as Redacted, but it's a duck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's when he does search, he can duck the sword. It's obviously not as good as Redacted because he can't just do it at instant speed. And he has to come up. He can't just hold it. Yeah, he can't just hold it down, but he can duck sword. Glue, as we said, is a problem for Fencer. And items can make it hard to get Fencer's sword.
Round 1 dive kick.
Yeah, you may have already covered this because I wasn't there early in the video, but just don't roll into glue.
Yeah. we cover it in the Markman's video.
Oh, right. Okay.
I like oil because it gives me that forward jump.
Round 3 dive kick.
Oh no.
Round 4 dive kick.
Alright, no headshot. That was good. Markman's actually got a pretty good angle for headshot chaining Fencer.
Dive kick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna roll for fun this time. We've seen it. It's horrible. Oh, wrong way.
KO.
There's the I'm not gonna win even if I'm above you.
6 dive kick.
Alright, gave me the sword. Nice duck.
Ooh.
Oh! Nice.
Drops the sword in shame.
I
Aw.
missed a second. I'll still pick it up, but
And it picks back up, yeah.
yeah. Okay, I don't care about gas. I should walk through gas. Everything else is kind of tough.
Dive kick.
Ah, tried to ground special. Come out.
Round 9 dive kick.
Oh no.
Still
Nice,
there.
nice.
Even if you don't roll into it.
10 dive kick.
Oh yeah. I should not have jumped there.
Markman
Nice.
wins.
Hello.
I was trying to kind of just get right next to it. I think I'm too used to building meter. I should just not do anything, wait for the glue to go away.
So if Fencer goes into glue, does that mean he should not be able to throw the sword? It's like stuck to his hand.
Round 1.
No, he can still throw it. I was able to throw it when I was standing on top of the glue.
Oh no, I was just thinking like, you know, quote unquote balancing.
Oh,
Oh.
wait, that's close?
Round 2. Divekick.
It does hit, what do you call it? Penny up close, right? So I would imagine Mark
Round
being also hit.
Shorter than that. Ah, I tried to item again.
It just sliced right through the glue bottle and went on.
It spilled all the glue. That's what happened. Oh. I was like, what is coming out? And I didn't notice you kicking.
Round 5. Divekick.
Thank you, Oil.
Round 6. Divekick.
Too slow.
Wins.
Yeah, sword has the best kickbox.
Yes, it does. There's no trading.
Well, hey, I might have hit you first if I got the just frame.
Yes, from above.
True.
Ooh, maybe. Yeah.
Round 1. Divekick.
Oh, come on!
You had the dodge sword and then you land back in the glue. Oh. You know my want to
I
play
know
in the
that
oil.
you.
Divekick.
Oh my god, the scramble.
Round 3. Divekick.
Ah! I thought it was close enough to the ground!
Round 4. Divekick.
Wrong analog selected.
Round 5. Divekick.
Oh!
Oh!
I wanted that to work.
If you got the quick kick, I think you might have been able to hit me.
Ah,
The fencer.
I'm so bad at doing ground specials.
Yes, from above. Round 1. Divekick. Headshot.
Nope. Nice.
Round 2. Divekick. Headshot.
Nice.
Short circuit.
Round 3. Divekick.
I should have tagged out.
Decided to wait that time.
4. Divekick.
Wrong analog selected.
Round 5. Divekick.
Oh, I should have turned around.
My roundhouse went out.
Not be going for these just
Round
frames.
6. Divekick.
Oh, nice.
Round 7. Divekick.
Oh,
The fencer.
I didn't think you'd make it back far enough.
GG's.
I was aiming for that just frame, but what I wanted to happen was I'd just frame, jump, and then catch your kick back. I didn't think you'd reach the sword.
Still though, good games. Axem, it is 7:30. I'm okay with going like maybe 2 more. So 1 more for Axem, 1 for Laitome. Is that okay, guys?
That's good, yeah.
All right, Axem, what do you want to run here?
Oh right, I was supposed to be thinking about that. We could show Eskil just because he can't really approach the same way
Okay.
during round 1.
Do you want to be Fencer or Eskil?
I guess I'll be Eskil.
Okay.
Select your character.
I think that I have this either slightly
Is this
fencer
version
or even.
2012? Select your
Just
breed.
because Skill, obviously he has really good line play because he can just go to line whenever he wants to. And Perry is pretty good at defending line, but like you said, he can't defend the sword in the center.
Select
But his
your
double jump
guts.
gives him pretty good regular defense.
That skill is also very good at defending the sword, so to
Yeah,
speak, when it's on
yeah.
his side of the screen.
The problem is he just
After
can't get it at the center.
From
And
At round 1, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like Fencer will always reach it before Eskil
One.
does.
yeah, things like that. That second jump.
It's
That skill's insane
against
backwards
roll, yeah.
movement.
Hurry up.
Oh. I always thought he was going to come at the other side.
Round 3.
Ooh. You cannot parry sword, for those who are watching.
Round 4.
Unfortunately.
Take my quick win. Limit your meter build.
Round 5. Divekick.
Okay. Went in a little too far with my chunky movement.
Round 6. Divekick.
Oh no, too close. I was too afraid to attack you there because of parry.
Round 7. Divekick.
Which is fair.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's why.
Alright,
Yeah.
Fencer's minimum height.
Yeah. You can't really aim for the shoes too much. Ooh. You have no meter. This is good.
Round 9. Divekick.
Oh, I thought I could escape that in time.
Wins.
How's your fencer, Laitome?
Round
Eh.
1. Divekick.
Oh, you kind of saw it during the end match, I guess.
I was wondering if I want to do Shoals as the last one.
Round 2.
I think my Shoals is better than my Fencer.
I mean, in the fencer matchup though.
I actually don't know the Shoals Fencer
Round
matchup.
3. Divekick.
I mean, outside of don't kick back, I guess.
Oh no.
Round 4. Divekick.
Oh my gosh. I have no idea where you are.
Round
You'll kill double frick.
Did you win the first
Oh, right,
match?
that right
I
now.
might have given myself the win by accident.
Round 6.
Do you guys remember who won the first one?
I thought that was you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, too.
It's madness. Round 7. Divekick.
Oh no. Trying to do my own parry.
Round 8. Divekick.
Alright.
Hurry up.
Oh, I thought I parried in time. Not quite landed.
Round 9. Divekick.
Nice.
Landed in time that time, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Wins.
I was trying to catch you before that happened. I should probably not try that anymore. It's looking like it's a bad probability that I'll actually get it in time.
This from above.
The thing about Fencer is that you kind of have to go towards Eskil. You can't just let him build meter, so you can't do that thing where you play sword on your side.
Right, right.
Yeah, Eskil and meter's not great. You don't want to give him meter. Oh. I went for your foot there. Totally missed.
Just came up short. Oh, I thought I parried. Okay.
Round 4.
Yes.
And that just went lower, yeah.
Round 5.
Oh no! I thought you were gonna
okay.
parry.
Round 6.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I got so
You just meant to do the regular double jump.
Yep, getting so caught up in
Ooh. Nice, nice.
It's like, why is Eskil so slow at approaching Concussed? And then you take something.
No, no, I don't know what I'm doing. He only did one jump. I should not try to punish that. Oh,
Fancy.
nice, nice.
I kind of forgot that his first jump can actually jump over sword. Even in kick jump. Well, I think it's a small window though.
Yeah, yeah. And it probably depends on the rotation too.
Round 2.
Oh.
Eskil has a bad hitbox, but it's better than Fencer's.
Yes. Oh,
Huh.
I'm getting that
Does it-
non-parry
Does his
distance.
feet kind of disappear when he's in the air. It's weird.
Ooh, you could have parried that.
Round 5.
I wonder, if Eskil tricks while Fencer is trying to run away behind him, what way does the trick end up?
Oh.
I guess we'll never know.
Round 6.
We can lab it after this.
The fencer wins.
So you said that if he passes, where will
Like,
he
while,
show
while,
up?
while Fencer is facing away from Eskil.
I think he shows
Where
up
does
the
the-
closest,
Yeah, that's my
the
thought
side
too.
closest. Yeah, that's what I would think. The only time he shows up behind is on parry.
Round 1.
Ooh, yes.
Round 2.
Damn it! I don't know why. I think I can get it in. Great parry.
Round 3.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think you have much of a choice but to
Just go for it.
I mean, I can roll over, right?
Round 4.
yeah, except then you're victim to Eskil's double kickback.
Oh, nice. Great delay trick there.
We usually don't have the option because I've already kicked. It's like, oh no.
Ooh.
Oh, that was a bit late, I guess. Yeah.
Round 6.
I'll take my sword hits when I can.
Round 7.
Reactions.
Be low for parry though.
Round 8.
Ooh.
Oh, that just felt dirty.
That's just the edge of the knee. I was thinking if this missed, I have to use my KF. Try to cross the screen, but able to get that edge there.
Against Eskil.
Alright, Laitome. We don't have to do Shoals, we can do something else. Is there something
I'm
you want to
interested
end
in the matchup because I know it's different because sword means I can't just kick back for free.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to play Shoals, I can kind of show you the problems that Shoals has.
I'll make you wish you were fighting Pedurino.
Just fixing the names again.
Wait, you gave me the win. That was you.
Oh, was it? Whoops.
Well, too late now. Officially
Um,
acted now.
So here's the problem with Shoals. She doesn't have ground movement, so she can't exploit Fencer's weakness. She doesn't have the lightning to make up for that. So roll is really good against Shoals because like I like to pick Meter Gem as Shoals because I feel her tools are Kickfactor is good because she can go quicker into the downward movement to counter roll. And sometimes you don't want to go that fast because you'll pass them when you try to hit the roll. Fencer's high jump makes him almost like dive in defense because he can jump high really quickly. And with roll, it makes ground movement easy for him to avoid Shoals. So, and KF is just, it's really hard to stop him from moving. That's why I think that's all the problems that Shoals has with this matchup.
Round 1.
Like I don't even really care about sword.
You just get out of the way so you can roll safely, right?
Yeah, because if you're in the corner and you have roll or you have sword, you can't roll out. So it's probably better for you not to have sword. You can probably get wins with sword, but I don't think you need it. Obviously, you get headshot. That's a problem because Dr. Shoals very good at headshot chaining. But other than that, I think you're fine with just meeting her up in the air, playing your defense, and winning with Kickfactor if she doesn't do anything. Oops.
Round 5. Divekick.
Oh no! Okay, I should probably play this a little bit less loose. Because I've already got a headshot twice, and that's the one thing you want to not do as Fencer. Well played. Bye to me.
Wins.
Thank you.
This from above. Round 1. Divekick. Begin the shot.
It's a good start.
Oh wait, you have a sword. Oh no. Get rid
Well,
of it. Toss it away.
Divekick.
oh.
Hurry up. Double kill.
Stress fractures!
Round 3. Divekick.
I have no hope!
Can't get out.
Round 4. Divekick.
Foot sandwich! Eat it! Eat the foot! YOLO! Eat it!
Oops.
Eat the foot!
Hurry up.
Ugh. I should have just did nothing.
Yeah. Probably could have just stopped on a dime, right? Oh, you didn't have any meter. That's why.
No, I did. I was too late.
Round 5. Divekick.
Eat the foot! YOLO!
Ah, too fast.
Fraud detected.
I was like, I better back up my talk here that Fencer is hard to hit. Trying to make it. I was like, yeah, Fencer's hard to hit, and you completely kill me every single time.
I mean, I have to go for a reset.
Divekick.
And of course, I'm not Capconian levels with my reset, so I can't nail that drop headshot.
Yeah, yeah.
Round 2. Divekick.
Oh, where's my roll? I got stuck thinking, am I going to jump to hit this? Nope.
3. Divekick.
Eat the foot! YOLO!
Alright, I'll take it.
kick.
I'm always too fast on that.
Yeah, Cap, Blabuer mentioned in the chat that Cap always switches off in this matchup.
That time you just had me. I really should have just let that one roll.
Round 7. I kick. Hurry up.
Bye.
Ah, dang it! I thought I would get the turnaround. Alright, maybe I should just try going for Kickfactor.
Yes, from above. Round 1. I kick.
Damn it. I need to remember that sword is like
Round 2.
not very important in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm like, don't even care about it too much. And most of the time I don't want it, because I don't want it to get stuck in a corner.
You can't roll!
Yeah. Yeah, roll is pretty important here. Oh. Nice, nice.
This is what I want.
Yeah, that's what you want. Kickfactor.
4. I kick.
Oh.
Oh!
Round 5. I kick.
Thought I had you.
Round
Let's get rid of that sword so I can either jump or roll.
Yeah.
Round 7. I kick.
I knew that would fail.
Yeah, I mean the jump speed is like, it's like you're placing dive. It's like you're playing dive, who's already hard to kill. But his kick factor isn't as dangerous because he can't win multiple, but he can win one, and then you add roll so that you don't even have that.
Well, it's
like,
not even kick factor.
bottom
It's the fact that roll just makes your hitbox absolutely tiny.
Yeah, yeah. It gives me the under option that most players don't have against Shoals.
Yeah. Oh, except like Kenny.
Well, it's not moving forward though, right?
True.
All right. I think that should be good enough. We did. If you do want to look for more Fencer matchups, you can check the archive of the highlights for the Twitch channel. We did do a Fencer discussion that had a lot of Fencer matchups as well. And if I think we do play it a few times across the other character discussions. Laitome and Axem, thank you for joining, and I think this is the last character before Kenny. We got Kenny next week.
Yep.
Which we had to do last just because Kenny is an amalgamation of the rest of the characters. Not necessarily Fencer or Gat or Baz, but the rest of them.
11 characters in one,
do
baby.
matter. So it's going to be fun next week. Please tune in for that. I might be able to do a tournament coming up on October 8th. I'm not quite sure, but once I am, I'll put those details in the Discord. Once again, I'll type in !Discord for anyone following in chat. You can get a link to invite link to our Divekick Infinite Discord where we plan games, have matches, have discussions. But yeah, Axem, Laitome, anything to say before we sign off?
No, I'm good.
Why?
Good.
All right. Hope. What was that?
Sign us off.
Oh yeah. I hope to see you guys next time. Take care.